What's up, YouTube? It's your boy Quicksand tapping in for episode 21 of Mindset Monday, and today we're going to talk about the importance of collaboration and community. But before we get into it, the one thing that I do ask of you is that if you find any type of value in the context of this video, that you please give it a share with someone that you know can also benefit as well. I drop a mindset video every Monday, so subscribe, turn on those post notifications, and stay tuned. Tap in. So this past weekend I was able to attend a player development conference. It was put on by Mastery Hoops. Go check out their YouTube channel, their Instagram. It's ran by Coleman, which is By Any Means Basketball, as well as Tyler. And these two guys are changing the game as far as basketball training goes. And you know, they're adding in their creativity and they're adding in their drills that are changing the game in a way where you can use more instincts rather than creating I guess the robots, you can say, where with the cone drills and just like the basics, you know, that everyone usually goes to. These guys are steering away from that and trying out their own thing. So it was great to be around these two guys, and I'm glad that that they put on this conference. So this is the second time they had this conference. They had it last year in Miami, and it's called the PDC Mastery Hoops, so Player Development Conference. And basically, they have keynote speakers on each day. So it was Saturday and Sunday. So I think on Saturday they had 4 speakers, and on Sunday they had 3. I believe that's what it was. So you have people like Mike G. You have Phil Handy, who was there. Devin Williams from Devin the Lab. Tim Martin. Joic he's from Belgium. I believe he's from Belgium. So there's a bunch of like high-level trainers who have been successful in their field, and now they're coming, to these conferences that these guys put on, and they're just giving game back and seeing, from their eyes and their perspective, how they started training and how they were able to collab and form a community in the game of basketball in the player development realm. Now, the one thing that I'll say that all of these trainers said to all of us in the keynotes was that you must be open to learning. You can't limit your mind and be closed-minded to new ideas, because there's there's always new inventions, right? There's always a new way to, for example, I'm recording this on a Sony camera. There's always a new Sony camera that's going to come out that's going to be better than this one. And the ideas are always going to keep forming. Now, if you are open to it, you're going to be able to grow with it. If not, you won't be able to grow, and you'll still, be in a position where you're not learning. If you can't learn, you can't teach. Okay, so forming a community is, exactly what this entire weekend was about. Was bringing trainers from all over the state and all over the country to one location and learning for 8 hours, right? So 16 hours total. The day started at 8:30 all the way to 5 p.m. So they were demonstrating drills on court. They were giving PowerPoint presentations. Some of them just went off at the top of the head, and they just said their spew, and they gave real life examples of how it is to be a trainer at the highest levels. And they all say that someone gave them a chance, right? So they started on their own. They made the decision to, I want to be a trainer. This is what I'm going to do. I'm going to put myself out there. And once they put themselves out there, they were able to be consistent, but also they found a community of people who enjoy their content and enjoy their knowledge and who are open. And, it was always the talk of, the weekend where you can't limit your ability to intake new knowledge, because you're limiting yourself in your growth. And there was so much that I learned. It was almost overwhelming at points, right? And speaking of overwhelming, I'll kind of get to some of the points that I learned. But at the end of Sunday, so that was the final day, we're all in a big circle. Picture all of the trainers, 50 plus people all in one circle, just saying their goodbyes or whatever. So I was the last person to speak. I raised my hand and I asked a question. Not so much a question, but I put myself in a vulnerable position. And I basically gave a little speech on, thanking and commending the people who put on, this conference, right? Because there was a lot to it in the background that we didn't see, and we were just there enjoying the show and enjoying, the entire thing. But, I do respect everything that happened in the background. Getting all these speakers there, getting all the trainers, to be there at the same time is just a beautiful thing. So I commended them for that. And then I said, that I wanted to go to the Miami conference last year. And with that Miami conference, I've never been out of state before. And I didn't want to be in a position where I was vulnerable. Meaning, I didn't know any of the trainers, personally, and they're all levels above me. So it can become a thing of being intimidated, right? Being intimidated to where I don't want to look like I don't know what I'm talking about. Maybe like, I forgot the actual term for that, where you don't feel comfortable in that position. Maybe you guys can drop it down low. So I do feel comfortable as a trainer, but when you're around other people who are smarter and who have more experience, it can become a thing of like, man, maybe I don't know what I'm talking about. But it's important to put yourself in those uncomfortable situations, because that's the moment you're going to learn. You're going to be able to intake new knowledge from people who are better than you and who have been there, who maybe been in your shoes at one point. And so I didn't end up going to Miami. I'm kind of bouncing around on this conversation, but I didn't go to Miami because I was in fear of, not being looked at as like, wow, you don't know what he's talking about. And then you start to overthink, and then I never been out of state, so that would just been a lot. And I had some regrets on not going, because I seen the aftermath and how great it was and how much people were learning. So when I seen on their Instagram, on Mastery Hoops, that it was going to be in LA, in my city, I knew for a fact that I had to go, and it was my opportunity to be able to get uncomfortable. Now, I still will say that, the first week that, they announced the conference, I was still in doubt. I was like, maybe, I don't know, maybe I can just learn it from home. Like, maybe I don't need to be there in person. And, I was wrong for sure, because I definitely do not regret making that decision to be there. And, it was a powerful moment for my own growth, because I made the decision to show up. And when I show up, it was way better than I expected. Instantly just started talking to trainers from all over, introducing myself, introducing my brand, speaking to them and learning, what their situation is as coaches and as trainers, and recognizing that we all have similar struggles, but also similar successes. And, I was able to give my advice to trainers who were just starting, and, learning from other trainers who have been established for years, who have their own facilities, who have 50 and 100 plus clients, and learning their styles on group trainings and personal trainings. And just, man, it was so much knowledge, and it just makes me so happy that I made that decision to go. So going back to collaboration and community, those two things were important, to collab and learn from other people, and to build that community and that bond. Like, what we were able to do this past weekend for the Saturday and Sunday is going to change the basketball game forever, because this is a family forever, for life. Going forward 5-10 years, we're going to look back on these conferences and realize, man, all our minds were able to get together and collab and create some just amazing new ideas and new just energy flowing. And that's exactly what we need in this field of basketball. It's just all love and passion for the game, and we're doing it for the kids and doing it for the people who want to be in high school basketball, in college, and professional levels. So it was a beautiful thing, collabing and communicating, and just forming that community is a beautiful thing. So I do appreciate Mastery Hoops, and I'm so glad that I went. If you guys ever have an opportunity to go to any conference in your field, do it. Don't be scared. Take that leap, and I promise you're going to get the best out of it. Thank you guys for watching this video. I hope to see you guys next week for episode 22. Tap out.